Hi everybody and welcome to your daily tarot reading for Tuesday the 29th of October 2019. Thanks for joining me. I'm using the Black Cat's Tarot again. I was just really fascinated by this deck and I just want to use it again because I don't think we've seen the best of the deck yet. I just have a feeling about these cards. So I'm gonna shuffle the cards a little bit and I just set the intention in my mind. What is the energy of Tuesday the 29th of October about, and how can we make the most of it? Oh, a cat on a horse. That looks so funny. That's the Knight of Wands. I love it. You see the, oh, I needed that laugh. That is hilarious. A cat. Oh, I love it. And then a cat, the Six of Swords. A cat going on a journey. Oh my God. Oh, and then the Four of Cups. Four of Cups. All right. So, the Knight of Wands is someone who takes risks. You can see the horse ears are back, not very happy to be made to take this leap. The cat rider insisting on it. The Knight of Wands is someone who's full of passion, who's full of ideas, who's full of drive, who wants to explore, who wants to get from A to B, even if danger is involved, who really wants to go for it. Now, what the knights are known for is that they're extreme. They either really, really go for it, like in this case, or they just don't show up, or they use their energy in a negative way. So, for instance, if this cat rider is stifled and can't go jumping around, the energy turns into anger and malcontent and just picking fights with people because you want to get that anger out somehow. That's the other extreme of the fire energy. So it's better to kind of take risks, I suppose. I don't know. Depends on your interpretation. Some people would say it's better to take a risk and explore than to be a negative influence. Other people may say, well, I think being a negative influence is far less harmful and less risky than taking this kind of a risk. The next card that we've got is the Six of Swords, and that also implies a journey. The swords represent that person's identity and who they are. The cat is naked, but the cat belongs somewhere. It's got a heritage. So one sword is the ancestry that's going to mean that the cats on the other side of the ocean are going to welcome her with open arms because she belongs to this noble family, for example. But she also takes her memories with her, the way she communicates, her culture, the decisions she's made, her past. That's what you take with you on a journey, as well as provisions. So there's a huge desire to go on a journey and to take, even if that journey is risky, there's a huge desire to go on a journey and to get away from where you are now and to get from A to B. It's all about freedom, birds flying. Let's get away, let's get away. And then the final card is the Four of Cups. And the Four of Cups is usually a young man sitting under a tree with his arms crossed and there's a cup being extended to him and he's just not aware of it. He's just not aware of all of the good things he's got in his life. He's in denial. He doesn't appreciate all the good that he's got. He's not in a space of gratitude. This woman is being totally looked after. I love that little, the remnants of the fish. How cute is that on her little table there? So she's being waited on hand and foot. And she doesn't look that happy either. So she just expects this. Like, she's the kind of rich person who says, excuse me, why is my bed made with 32 thread cotton count Egyptian cotton sheets when I specifically asked for 100 or more cotton count. I don't even know anything about it, so I'm just making up the numbers. But, it's that kind of rich person who like insists on their luxuries and doesn't enjoy them. Like we have to go to Elaine's or whatever and hang out with the noble crowd because oh no, we couldn't be seen anywhere else. That's a gilded cage of its own. It's the kind of thing where you really suffer if you have to go somewhere where you can't get the best of the best and you behave like an entitled you know what, and people aren't gonna like you very much if you go around thinking that the world owes you something. The moon shines solely to light you up. If the world revolves around you, then other people aren't going to really want to be involved with that because they'll leave you to it and your servants. Once the money goes, if the money goes, that would be a big problem because then she wouldn't be able to survive in normal circumstances. They have made films on this, like A Streetcar Named Desire, Blanche in it. She's used to wealth and she has to move home with her sister, and I think the husband is alcoholic, and she's just taken this huge fall from grace, and she has to kind of slum it. And also the film Blue Jasmine, which Woody Allen kind of stole the plot of Streetcar Named Desire, and it was cruel. That film was actually cruel. I felt hurt by the director after I left that movie because he really didn't show any mercy to the main character. She was one of those super rich people, one of those billionaires, like the Bernie Madoff crowd, like his wife and the kids, and they have houses in New Hampshire and on Long Island and in Miami and in New York State and mansions here and there and blah blah blah, and in London and in Scotland a castle. So when all of that is taken away, that creates a person who can't cope under normal circumstances. Like in Blue Jasmine, it was this woman then moves in with her sister who is middle/working class. They live, above, I think, a deli or something. And the sister can't handle it. She's just taking Xanax and drinking all the time. And then she meets this rich guy and tries to hustle him into getting married again for the money. And he dumps her and it's all over. And at the end, she's just sitting on a bench gibbering. It's terrible. So the message I'm getting is super extreme. You have a really extreme desire to take action and to go places. The horse doesn't like it, and the horse is far more connected with the earth and nature than we are, okay? So that's already a bad sign. Then going on a journey with all of your identity and all of your stuff packed doesn't mean change because you're just taking everything with you. You're just changing the location. There's nothing about you that changes. You're taking everything you've got. You're going from island A to island B, and there's no real shift. So there's a pointless journey. It's a pointless journey today. What I think you ought to do instead is the moon, rather than being afraid of being bored if you stay at home today, or what am I going to do if I don't follow up on this urge to kind of travel and explore and learn and go and see. And I'm here to live. I'm supposed to, every day has to be full on. I have to go discover. I feel badly and guilty about doing that today. So face that, and instead what I would suggest is that instead of, changing the space you're in or taking risks to distract you or to fill the hole in the soul or to give you a buzz or whatever it is, I would say look at what you've already got in your life and be grateful for it. Because the Four of Cups is notorious for for this sense of entitlement, to feel to feel entitled to all these wonderful things in the world. And really, no one is really entitled to anything. It just so happens that if you are in a great position like that, you're in a very lucky position. And if you see that as the norm, then change that and realize how lucky you are and say, wow, I'm so lucky. Thank you, universe, for putting me in such a great position. I really appreciate it. And that then, if everything is pulled away from you, if the carpet is pulled out from under you, then you'll be able to cope. Because you're like, I was lucky. Now the tide has turned and I'm down on my luck. I'm sure I'll be up again. Nothing is permanent. Everything changes, especially money. It's an energy that sometimes it comes and other times it goes. So you'll be much more equipped emotionally for the future if you look at yourself today rather than trying to distract yourself or to distract yourself from looking at who you really are by taking some sort of action that's going to distract you and fill you with excitement or ecstasy or a sense of escape. Number-wise, we've got 6 and 4 is 10 and 1 is 11. 11 is the master number of service. So be of service to yourself by not running away from your fears and your problems. Face them. And look at how lucky you really are and be grateful for it. And that in itself, a person who is well off, but who's grateful for having that, you'll be of service to other people, but just by being an example and demonstrating that in your daily life, that you can be, you can have wealth, but you don't have to be weird about it. I mean, you can recycle and you can offset your carbon footprint and you can do whatever it is you want. If you feel grateful for what you've got and you want to give back, then that's your prerogative. But anyway, the point I'm getting to, and the point that's important, is that taking action is pointless today. Really changing everything around and signing a big contract that takes you from island A to B or location C to D, or some sort of a huge risk today, they don't mean anything. If you want to show that you're brave, look at yourself, slouched on a chaise longue, and say to yourself, am I this spoiled brat? Do I have character flaws? We all do. Is there something I could do better? Could I be more grateful for what's going on in my life? And then you're doing that for yourself. Other people will see that and notice your energy, and they will also want to kind of be in that space of gratitude, because there's nothing better than having stuff and actually enjoying it. That's how rich you are. That's the measure of how rich you are. If you have everything in the world, diamonds, jewels, crowns, but you're miserable, then all of that stuff is worthless. It's pointless. But if you have total freedom, you're in love with yourself, you're in love with the world, you're in love with another person, and you have all the money in the world, and you don't see it, and if someone brings your coffee 5 minutes late, you have an apoplectic fit, then you're also miserable. But if you are able to step back from that and observe your life for what it is and see what a lucky position you're in, and you have to admit, most of us watching this video right now are in much, much luckier situations than a lot of people out there in the world. And when you can see that, then all of your riches start to become something, and your friends and your yacht and your mansions and stuff. If you see them for what they are and you're grateful, then you can really enjoy them and you can live a much happier life because you honor everything you've got. And that kind of behavior, that kind of thinking is what gets you rich in the first place. If you value everything you've got, the universe will give you more things to value. So you have the opportunity to be of service to yourself and to other people by modeling the behavior and the attitude. So it's a great day to look within rather than going out into the world and distracting yourself. So I hope you have a wonderful day. It's interesting that this is the number 4 as well, because looking within in the 12-step program, the 4th step is very much about looking within. So if you'd like a personal reading with me, please get in touch via the website. It's gregoryscott.com. Click on the Readings tab to order your reading. In my personal readings, I use astrology, tarot, and numerology, so I can answer any questions you may have. Please hit the subscribe button if you like the video and share it online if you really like it. Have a wonderful day, and I'll speak to you tomorrow.